Well, you have a lot of harassment options in lane 2 against the Tahm Kench. Really no way that Tahm Kench can effectively trade, so they may just try and take it for the laning phase, because having standard lanes, not great for their Tahm Kench or their Ezreal.
All 3 lanes, actually.
Yeah.
Pressure going to be well on the side of KT if we see standard lanes.
By a pink ward in the river without checking it. They know what's going on here. Kuro going to get engaged on Fly, actually. Going to pop his ult on himself in response to the GP, but there's Gorilla, forces the flash. Smeb also joining the rest of his team, courtesy of a TP. Hachani now trying to zone out. They're not going to catch Lissandra. Good job.
Shen support, of course, very, very tanky. Has at least 1 point in the W. Can just tank up the damage. Between Elise and Shen, they're so tanky. And then, of course,
here we go. Peanut going to come back in. Fly going to eat out. And there's the death. Wolf gets the first blood. Combined with Kuro. Looks like it was actually a passive tick. I may have finished that off as Wolf went in for the kill. Wait, and he dive. Ssumday now finds Peanut in the river. And that's going to be a 3-stack. Ssumday's getting very close to Gnar. Peanut doesn't want to fight this. I don't know what he's doing, and he's just going to get jumped on by Ssumday. They're going to get the kill maybe with the Ignite.
It's not going to kill him.
And it's not going to be enough. Meanwhile, Score gets found out in the top side. Kuro is here, and Hachani, the last victim, left alone, flashless in the enemy jungle, and Prey comes through with the true shot barrage, finishes off Ssumday as he recalls under his turret. His eyes on the shop, no doubt.
If he was stealing a buff, it'd be all about Faker.
Score and trying to punish Smeb right here. TP coming back, and that will be canceled in the end. Kuro has to use a summoner spelling, but guess who's here? It's Ssumday. Hopping forward, does get the proc, but is he going to burn through the health? The answer is probably. Once this shield is slowly destroyed, Ssumday barely lives.
Kindred's
but it's
on the chase.
Kindred coming around, but Score and Ssumday are here, and it's just Peanut. And there is Ssumday with a Gnar. Cocoon goes through. Peanut a little in a tough place, and here comes Ssumday. Rock thrown, smashed into the ground. Kindred, Gorilla's here with a 3-man knockup, and a true shot barrage goes past, but it just can't finish up. Peanut again caught out by the KT lineup.
Everyone gave 110% today.
You can't do that, I'm sorry.
I'm taking it 1 week at a time.
I'm only giving about 80% right now, in fact. All right.
Why are you tanking?
KT going to be slowed up there by the Iceborne Gauntlet once again. Stack up for the Muramana faster. There's an engagement. Smeb comes from the flank, but he gets taunted. Hachani starts to try and delay him. Does get eaten, spit back out, and that'll be a kill for the Tigers as they get one on the hard engage. A plethora of wards popped over the wall.
And speaking of pressure.
Oh yeah, they're going for the Rift Herald right now. Smeb, gray health already about 50%. And here's the TP as Ssumday's going to go into Gnar form. Score punched out of the fight by Gorilla. Peanut now over the wall. Here comes the E though. Big Gnar into the wall. 3 people, and they're going to catch Prey on the back end of this fight. Prey still doing damage though. He is going to eventually fall, and now Peanut going to come in. Nice pull here by Gorilla as the Kindred ult is dropped, but that's not going to be enough as Peanut's still alive, but he is going to get knocked down by Arrow, who takes a double to end the fight. Ssumday still with that 100% kill participation at 4-1 and 5. Picks up a lot of gold. Oh, Gorilla, you can't deal with this.
There's a mallet.
The mallet doing work.
But get the mid-game fight they were looking for. Need to keep them honest. Gangplank's looking for the steal.
Yeah, not going to get it. Does chunk them just a hair.
Everyone on the side of ROX has an open slot for a pin ward. They desperately need them. Ssumday's really overextended.
Flash taunt onto Prey. There's it straight to Cocoon, and Ssumday is just waiting in Gnar. Try to save him with a Kindred ult. That's not going to be enough. Meanwhile, Arrow gets himself in a nice position. Gnar is eaten and killed actually by the Tahm Kench. Hachani now backs away, but the siege can still come in here from KT. And nice ult. Smeb gets caught out in the front line. And this will be another turret for KT off of a top laner for a top laner and 80 carry trade.
KT going really tricky here with a 2-man Baron attempt. There's no information to ROX. This is almost a polar opposite of the last game. Spotted out.
Yeah, Score nearly died. There's the GP ultimate. Not going to be enough to secure it. Score has his finger on the smite. Hits it, and they'll get out. The itemization is this efficient is is a bit of a worrying sign here for the Tigers.
Has been to go for the late game, which, again, atypical of so many other teams. A score might be caught.
Has to jump up right there. Does have Peanut isolated, but Ssumday on his own. He's very tanky. Fly has to ult himself to get out of that Smeb. Again, tied up with the taunt. Ssumday now on the backside. They have to use the Kindred ult just to keep him alive. Another great ultimate and a huge taunt and stun from Hachani, and Ssumday is just going to absolutely wreck the ROX Tigers. What a good answer to that Kindred ult. Incoming quadra kill from Arrow. Doesn't get the penta, unfortunately. But a quadra will be good enough as they push into the enemy base.
Monte Cristo Arrow completely beast mode of that fight. He literally did the thing in solo queue you're told not to do. He skipped past all the tanks, 1v1'd Prey, killed him in the back line, and then pivoted when Ssumday pulled off that big engage and cleaned up the fight.
Yeah, they were really scared of Ssumday, though. Everyone on the retreat using the Kindred ult just to try and survive. He's very low, in fact. It'll take about 3 autos for Ssumday to kill us. 4, excuse me.
Smeb realizes that any sort of split push war is not in the advantage of the ROX Tigers. They need to be grouped as 5 to instantly collapse on whichever objective they want to go for. They're not going to try and pick up a denying dragon. They're going to look to fight a Baron. They're going to lose at minimum an inhibitor.
Yeah, KT has to pull back as Smeb comes in with that Abyssal Voyage. Lots of poke. Still going to come through. Gorilla starts tanking up the Baron. There's the GP ult drop. Can they burn down the Baron and turn this around? There's the Baron secured by Prey. Now they have to turn this fight, but there is a giant Ssumday who nails Peanut to the wall. Score now fighting inside the ultimate. ROX Tigers going to take the first kill of this team fight. And can they turn this around? They get 4. Only Ssumday left up. He has to hop over the wall right now. He's going to get away, looks like, just barely.
They're going to pick up their first dragon. 6% stats at 33 minutes are massive, and suddenly they get 6 minutes to push out their waves.
Huge, absolutely enormous. So Gorilla once again coming up with a play that...
Smeb's very overextended.
Yes, he is. Going to deal some damage to Score. Now they're going to TP in with Kuro. Fly is here, and they're actually going to get a kill. There's the True Shot Barrage coming on through. Fly has the Shen ultimate on him, but there are 2 kills as Arrow adds a little bit of insult to injury with his arrival. I find themselves in a situation getting chunked out by some GP barrels. Ssumday about to hit Gnar, but he's at 50% HP. Smeb doing some damage. Hachani walking forward. Arrow takes a chunk. True Shot Barrage not going to hit. Nice pull there, but he is going to get tied up by the Ring of Frost. Gorilla now, the next target, GP ult falls onto Arrow. Arrow has to reposition. Hachani's going to die right here. Can they kill Gorilla in return? The answer is yes. Arrow now on top of Prey, has to back out, flashes into the back line, but they're going to live. Fly now and Score still trying to work with his Ssumday, kiting Kuro, but he gets hit by a parlay. Fly still alive, but Prey is there with Smeb to take him out. Only Score left up as the defense from the ROX Tigers holds. 2 members remaining, but they lose a Nexus turret. Tigers at the Dragon. Kuro there, loaded up with a barrel, gets a nice first proc. And here we go. The TP's coming into the back line. Ssumday on the flank. He's not Gnar Fly. He's going to use his claw to get into this fight. No, he doesn't take it on the retreat. Meanwhile, Kindred ult drops. Ssumday going to punt 2 into the wall. Gorilla has his ultimate, uses it right now. Kuro in the front line. Is Kuro going to die? The answer is yes. But that's a 1-for-2 trade for KT. They lost Peanut, they lost Kuro, but they still have 4 members up. Hachani low. Arrow needs to get some HP, but Smeb is just so damn tanky. Ssumday here in Mini Gnar is going to get eaten and pushed back in. Ssumday is going to die as Prey comes over the wall with the arcade shift. Hachani, the next victim of Prey, but there is Score on top of him. Arrow has to work through Smeb right now. Score with a Zhonya's Hourglass is going to be the next one to die, as Smeb has actually been getting most of the kills in these fights. Dash forward. Arrow wants the finisher, and there's the shield. Tongue Lash not going to hit.
Oh, he got it!
He turns around on the Bush face check. Smeb on the highest damage Tahm Kench anyone has ever seen, and he finishes the ace. Holy cow.
That health scaling, just the Q auto attack exploded Arrow. There's definitely a proc from Deadman's play in there as well. Crazy damage, and they pick up the Baron as well. This defense is still on.
It is. opting for some more magic damage because they really need it. And here we go, Ssumday with the initiation. They find Peanut. Peanut in the Kindred ult. He's going to die. 2 members caught up. Prey is in the front line. Peanut's still alive, but everyone collapsing. Got a double kill for Ssumday. Gorilla here now in the middle of the team fight, and they're going to chase down Smeb eventually. Gorilla turned on by Hachani and Fly. He is going to die. Smeb now stunned twice. Boulder toss. He's not going to live much longer. He wants to take out Arrow, but Arrow just going to back off, and that should be it. Gorilla, though, is actually going to get a kill onto Fly. Where did Hachani go in all of that? I guess he ulted out.
Arrow with the stylish culling there. He knows this game is over. Prey died in the front line. Smeb wasn't even Groot in that fight. For once, ROX's team fight positioning completely lets them down, and we're going to a 3rd game.
What a thrilling final game. Gorilla gets taunted. No more ultimate. So KT wins the last team fight. Ssumday ends up with a 30 out of 32 kill participation in a very dominant Gnar game.